with your host, Ms.Londa. Sip and Talk Podcast. Sip and Talk Podcast. Sip and Talk Podcast. Starting soon. All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're back again, and I have a special guest. Well, she's my co-host as well, but she is here to share her story with us today. So let's welcome Tanza to the platform. I also have my co-host Boom with Podcast Lit. All right. How's it going today, guys?
Hi, everybody.
All right.
It's doing good.
Okay. It's I'm glad to have you here in our graces, Tanza.
Glad to be here.
All right. So you guys, she's gonna be sharing her story with us today on her journey with cancer. So without further ado, we'll hand the mic over to Tanza.
Yay. You know, these are things people don't like to talk about, right? So I didn't want to talk about this. Never wanted to talk about this, actually. And I'm still struggling with whether or not this is a conversation that I want to have. But I do realize that it is important. So here we are, right? But Ms.Londa, you did a great job on the advertisement, and it really kind of tells the story of the journey. The pictures like tell the story because, you know, I'm a woman of a certain age. So,
Okay. All right.
years old, but really healthy. I've always been really healthy. You know, you hear those people tell you all the time, I've never been sick a day in my life.
Yeah.
Literally me. I have always been extremely healthy. So I used to tell my girlfriend group, that was my superpower, was my health. I may not have all the money. I may not have all the beauty or whatever else standards were out there, but I had my health. And one day, I just didn't have it. And so what happened is that I kind of woke up one morning and started experiencing some symptoms. And ladies, I don't want to scare anybody out there because symptoms, I mean, it could be anything. And I actually thought that it was anything. And I'm talking about symptoms that may have looked, now that I know better, it's not. But back then it looked to me like maybe premenopause, where I was having cycles that lasted a little bit longer. Let me preface this, if we didn't already say this, that my diagnosis is ovarian cancer. Even though it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, my diagnosis is ovarian cancer. So it's still a gynecological cancer. So what I was experiencing was irregular periods, maybe some extra pain where maybe it shouldn't have been, a little bloating that, you know, could have been, all of these things could have been easily explained as a period gone wrong for most women. And so it didn't, I just didn't think anything of it. But one day I woke up and the bloating was just astronomical. And it was something that I could not explain. I'm a small frame person. And I woke up and looked like I was 9 months pregnant. And that's just something that you can't overlook. In 1 to 2 days of, you know, being normal and then being 9 months pregnant, that was a huge, huge, huge difference. And so I went to the doctor, and sure enough, they did some tests, ran some tests, did some blood work. And sure enough, came back and I was positive for ovarian cancer. So
And so are you okay now? Did they, were they able to remove it?
So the treatment, now I'm in the midst of the treatment. So this is where, um, it's kind of hard to talk about because you're in the middle of it, and it's scary because not everybody is for you sometimes, and you don't know how many people you let up in your world, how everybody's not always wishing you well, and you definitely need well wishers um, during this time. But I'm in the middle of it. So I'm about halfway through. I've done some chemo treatments, at least four, I think, 3 or 4. And then the next step is surgery. The good news is it's in that area of the body where all things are removable. I don't need any of those parts anymore. So that's a blessing. And I hope to have my surgery this month coming. So in November. And then after the surgery, there'll be some more chemo and then remission. That's the goal.
Okay.
That's the goal.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear. Good to
Yeah.
hear. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I gotta tell you, like every time that I reached out to you, you responded, it made my day. It's like, okay, yes, she's responding. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah.
It was pretty tough there for a little while in the beginning. Um, and I want to tell people that, it's scary whenever anyone comes to you and tells you anything that makes you face your humanness and the idea that things that you can't control, like life or death situations, you can get really scared. It was very scary in the beginning, and my symptoms had me in the hospital. I think I was in the hospital for a month and a half.
Okay.
And I couldn't leave. I couldn't eat. I couldn't drink. I couldn't swallow anything. That was a really, really, really scary time. It was the most scary time for me because I was the most vulnerable. I wasn't sure that I was going to make it. But fast forward, and here we are.
And here you are, yeah, sitting
Here
here
we
talking
are.
with us today.
Gained my weight back. Got pretty much my fighting weight back. And yeah,
Okay.
feeling good. Feeling good.
And we're
Well,
glad for you too, Tanza. Were you
definitely
gonna
happy to hear that, man. Definitely happy to hear that you are feeling better at this point. Glad that you are getting your strength back. You're definitely a strong person because you didn't show it. Um, didn't show any weakness from what I've seen.
Yeah.
So you're definitely a strong person, man. So definitely want to commend you for even speaking out about your position. Um, and I know that, like you said, people do pray on your downfall, but you're gonna have good prayers come from over here because
Yeah.
again, Ms.Londa is definitely a good friend. Other than when she started promoting this show, I never knew any of this that was going on. So that's also a dope friend for you. But yeah, I'm just glad to see that you are in better health, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just glad to see you in better health, Miss Tanza. You're very dope. So good job.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, like I said, sometimes I don't know when people tell you things or when things happen in your life. There's certain things that happen and you just want to run out to the mountaintops and tell everybody. I fell in love and I'm about to have a baby, or you know, things like that. There's no doubt I probably would have done 17 shows of my own on my own show about it. But this was kind of different. And when I found out, I don't know, my initial response was just shut her down, or at least try to keep it as quiet as possible. I remember telling Ms.Londa earlier on, listen, I'm struggling through something, and I may
Mhm.
not be able to make it all the time. I'm sleeping, I'm doing different things, and I can't make it, and not saying why. And then having people in your corner that at least trust that when you tell them this is not a good time for me, they're not automatically thinking bad things about you or like you're irresponsible, whatever. Like they seriously have your back. I thank you so much for that, Ms.Londa.
You're welcome.
I was going to ask you too. What was your support system? What is your support system like?
Oh, so listen here, people. You got to have a support system. You can't do this by yourself. I tried. Trust me, I tried. I tried not to tell anybody, including my family and my friends. Doesn't work. You need support. So right now, my support is I have my children, of course, 4 young adults. This is a lot for them. They're all in their 20s, so it's kind of,
You look like a young adult yourself.
well, now they're kind of like in charge of taking care of mama. And I also have my sister um, with me, and she's my main caregiver. If anything was to happen to me since my husband passed, my sister is it. So she has been taking great care of me. Um, so I want, and let me give a shout out to, real quick. Y'all know I'm in the Atlanta area. I want to give a shout out to Grady. They're not treating me anymore, but they saved my life. So I want to thank you, Grady. They get a bad rap. I'm here to tell you, Grady did a great job in making sure this girl is still here. And then to the Cancer Treatment Centers of America, which is where I'm being treated here in Atlanta. It's a total body experience of care where they care for your body, your mind, and your soul. So I want to shout them out too, because they've been doing a great job in making sure that I am healthy all around, mentally, physically, spiritually, all of that. So
Well, I got one more question.
yes, sir.
And I don't want to take you back because I'm pretty sure you were already there, but
Oh no,
I'm,
come.
I'm not like 100% sure. I'm gonna say I'm about 80% sure, which still might be a little bit too high. But I just want to know, like, were you ever, like, in a dark place, like, wanted to give up? Like, what
Oh,
was your mental like when you first found out?
it's a great question, Boone. It's a great question. So here's where personalities come in. Uh, my personality is very dismissive. Uh, I remember being in the emergency room and the doctor and the nurse, emergency room doctor and nurse, having to tell me this news, right? And they came in and they sat on the bed. They had such fantastic bedside manner. They were so sweet and kind and clearly there to give me a hug and be like, it's going to be okay. Clearly, that was their job. They were prepared to do it. And my response was, okay, no, okay. So, okay, so we have cancer. Okay, so now what do we do? What do we do next? And I kind of have tried to keep that mental space. It is not always easy because you get scared. I am human. You do get scared. I have had, an experience. Like I said, I was in the hospital for a month and a half, and there were some really scary moments. It's very painful. There, when you're hurting and when you have a problem that you can't fix, you can get down, boom, but I haven't stayed there long at
You
all.
got up out of there. I like that. I like that. I
Yeah,
like
that's good to hear.
your conversation strong, so I kind
Yeah.
of figured. That's why I said I wasn't 100% sure if you was there, because from your conversation, you seem like a very strong person. So I'm willing to bet you was like, oh, I'm gonna beat this. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get past this. Like so.
One thing that's helped me and the best advice that I ever had, first of all, I want to encourage everybody, male and female alike, take care of your health, get out there, check, go to your appointments. I wasn't a doctor goer, and I have to admit that I failed myself in a lot of this, but I want everybody to focus on their health, make sure that you're checking things out, don't ignore things,
Yeah.
right? Don't ignore. Make sure you go. If there's a question, go get it answered. It's not going to harm you to do that. But more importantly, talk about it.
Yeah, I was definitely gonna ask if you caught it early.
Yeah, so I caught it in stage 3, which is not early, but it's not late.
Late. What's the highest stage? You know?
Highest stage is 4. So there's
Okay.
4 stages of cancer. We are most people with ovarian cancer are diagnosed in stage 3, so I'm kind of right there in the averages. But I'm healthy and I've responded very well to treatment. I have had my genetic counseling done and have come to find out that I have that BRCA2 gene, which one day Ms.Londa will do a show on that. But whatever, that particular gene has me responding really well to treatment. So I'm thankful for that. So I've been doing really good. But I do want to encourage everybody, like I said earlier, go get yourself checked out, male and female alike. But if you get a diagnosis, it's not over. Life is not over. And stay off the internet. It's one thing I have not done. The best advice I've gotten is to stay off the internet. The internet will terrify you and make you think you're dying tomorrow.
That's good. That's a good thing that you say that, because I can agree with you on that. I wouldn't want to go on the internet. I would just literally just want to deal with doctors. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I get checked every year because cancer does run in my family. I had an aunt who had ovarian cancer. My mom had ovarian cancer. And then I had another aunt who had breast cancer. So it does run. So I make sure that I get, my checkups and my pap smears and breast checks and stuff every year. That is very important. And it's like, if I feel just a little something, I run to the doctor. I don't care if I'm getting on your nerves. You can treat me like I'm over exaggerating, but I'd rather over exaggerate than to sit here and ignore it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that is very important.
Right. Very important. Ms.Londa, I'm so proud of you. So
Thank
proud
you.
of you, because we don't do that often enough, especially as we think we got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank God.
I see one of your viewers, Miss Peanut here. She's very in tune with what's going on at this point.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna pull up her questions. So that was the first question.
It's not easy. Yeah, it's not.
And then
you're right. So my sister, sometimes I feel bad for her because, if I'm having a bad day, she's having a bad day. And so, I do. I feel bad for her a lot. But it is important to have a good support system. Yep. Yep.
And then she asked about your diet, your eating habits.
Oh, okay. So this is the hardest part, actually, is changing your lifestyle. That is really, really, really tough. But in order to effectively fight off anything, my granddaughter just walked up, guys, so excuse her. But in order to effectively fight off anything, you have to, it's a whole mind, body, spirit type of thing that you have to go on, which is why I'm being treated at Cancer Treatment Centers of America. So yes, my eating has had to change. I could do better. Y'all know how it is.
I do.
We live in a society where
I need that bacon. I need that pepperoni on my pizza.
Yeah, but cooking clean, like Peanut is saying, is very, very, very important. Making sure that minimizing salt, sugar, just all kinds of things, and eating healthy is best. But also vitamins. Don't want to overlook the power of vitamins and nature's paths and nature's remedies. They're really, really good. There's certain vitamins that I will take every day for the rest of my life going forward now. So
And
yeah.
are those ones that you probably would have took if you'd have known about them early on and just already been doing it?
Ironically, a couple of them were already in my cabinet. I just didn't take them. You know what I'm saying? They were already in the medicine cabinet.
And you know what? I'm guilty. I got one a day vitamin. I bought a bunch of vitamins when COVID hit, and I started taking them then. But then now it's like I haven't been taking them. And my mom, when she was living, my cousin,
Yeah.
they were always on my case, and I would lie and say, yeah, I'm taking them, and I'd be lying. But I am trying to, switch up. Like, I'm winging myself from Pepsi, and y'all, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Winging myself from Pepsi is almost like winging myself from being an alcoholic. I'm being real serious right
No,
now.
that's dead serious. I understand that. Especially when you eat
Yeah.
one of those sandwiches or something, you need that good old burp afterwards. That Pepsi will do it for you, man.
And
Well,
Ms.
my
Londa,
thing
it's
is that,
serious.
yeah, I'm up all night and I'm working on things, and so I'm grabbing Pepsi after Pepsi. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm as you can see, like, I'm trying, like, I'm really trying. So,
Like Peanut is saying, the thing about it is sugar and cancer are like
Best friends, huh?
best friends. Sugar feeds cancer, feeds it. So you have to be really careful. And things like soda has so much sugar in it. I mean, so much sugar in a Pepsi, you can't even imagine. So yeah, keep fighting a good fight, Ms.Londa. Keep fighting.
I am. All right.
Let's see, better sour sop is what
See,
and bitter melon.
bitter melon vitamins are good as well.
Yeah, and I found too, there is a Masaki Gold, I think it is, mushroom extract that works really well. Chemo can cause numbness in the fingers. I think you call it neuropathy in the fingers and toes and things like that, almost like when you're diabetic. And
But what
that
about the good stuff?
extract actually works really good. The good stuff.
The good stuff. THC.
Ah!
Marijuana.
Oh, the good stuff. The good.
Okay, all right. Nobody has given me a prescription to have at it. So I don't know. There's lots of pain meds that come with it. So I've got plenty of like maintenance medicine for pain.
But not the good stuff.
Nobody has given me a prescription for the good stuff.
Not the good stuff. Yeah, we
No,
gotta figure that out, man.
Now I've had good, well-intentioned people bring me some good stuff.
You're so silly. No, I heard that like, cause I just, it's so crazy, man. As much as, well, I've quit smoking weed for like the last 6 months. Don't applaud me because I miss it, and I would go back to it if I wasn't doing what I was doing. So it's not an accomplishment. Don't get it twisted. But but people have been telling me lately, like they've been like putting it in tea bags and actually drinking it, and it's different like that. And I damn sure want to try it. I don't want to lose my career that I got going on here. But I'm like, hold on, tea bags, put it in a tea bag and do it like that. They're like, yeah, just do it the exact way you do the tea. Just do it the exact same way.
Well,
like,
it's an herb, and
that's what I'm saying.
Herbs, yeah.
And it's supposed to help. Like, man, you go back into these further back in history, man. A lot of times they use that for help. They also use the coca leaves and things like that. But I think that people have twisted and turned it and made it into something that it shouldn't be, because it does grow from the earth, and everything that grows from the earth ain't good for us. But I think that right there is something
like tobacco.
Yeah, tobacco
is something that I had to give up.
Yep.
I was a smoker, and definitely had to give that.
I'm trying to get that up too, because I've been vaping crazy lately.
Yeah. So definitely got rid of that, but I want you guys to continue, like you said, Ms. Londa, to try to pull away from the soda and then look for other ways, more natural remedies to include in your diets to avoid. You guys are healthy now. It's one thing to be healthy and try to maintain the health. It's another thing to try to fight to get healthy again.
Yeah.
So you guys are.
Ooh, that's a whole different climb, huh? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm fighting to try to get healthy again. You're already there, so you just want to maintain it.
It seemed like you fighting to get. I mean, it seemed like you already beat the fight from. You know what I'm saying? The smile, the
Yeah, you
glow.
look very healthy
know.
and strong. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you.
And I'm not even gonna hold you long because I really want you to get your rest so you can stay strong. You know. So yeah, I'm just glad to even just be able to sitting here talking to you again.
I know it's good. It's
Because you
good.
got all the good information and all the good statements when we having our conversations and like where's Miss Tanza, but
I know, and I felt so bad about that, but like I said, you don't. Sometimes you just don't know what to do, so you don't do anything. You
Yeah.
just back out and back out quietly, and see what happens. But I'll be back, Ms.Londa. I definitely will come back and let you know how that surgery goes.
Okay.
When
And we want to see you ring the bell.
and
Yes, I want to see that live. I want to see you ring the bell because you're gonna ring the bell.
I'm
gotta
gonna
be a
ring the
video.
bell.
It gotta
Yeah.
be a video.
I am definitely going to be ringing the bell. So
When
yes.
you ring the bell, put some punching gloves on. You know what I'm saying? You knocked it out.
You know what? That is a fantastic idea. That's a fantastic idea. And I'm definitely going, you've motivated me, so I'm definitely going to put out some pieces, throughout the journey so that people can see kind of how it goes.
Yeah.
Chemo isn't always bad.
Yeah.
It has its pluses and its minuses like everything else. So yeah.
It seemed like it's more of the fight that you put into it. Some people just lay there and let it consume them, and some people don't. And the people who don't actually end up standing up and walking away from it. And
yeah.
so
Sometimes it's a matter of fighting to get up and move because it's something that drags you down physically, makes you very tired, and you got to fight to get up out of that. Yeah.
Amen.
Well, thank you, Ms.Londa. It was good to see you guys.
You too. You and my parents, Miss Tanza.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
All right. You have a good night.
Okay.
All right. You unless you have something else you want to discuss right now, we'll be back at 7:30.
Today?
Yeah.
What's that? 5:30 my time?
Probably.
Yeah.
What are you, an hour or two ahead of me?
I'm 2 hours ahead of you.
Okay, yeah.
5:30. All right. What's the discussions for today?
So basically, since we're gonna still kind of discuss that, but I kind of want to discuss like how it is like people trying to come up and how they're doing things to, basically assassinate somebody else's character that has already made it to try to get to where they're trying to get to.
Using somebody else's situation as a stepping stone to make them better.
It's not even a situation. It's like like we'll talk, but yeah.
We'll talk. Well, cool. I ain't really got too much to speak on, man. Shout out to the people, who beat cancer. Shout out to the people who have cancer. Better days are coming. So I will say that, but I don't have too much to speak on.
Okay, so we'll see you guys back here at 7:30. You all, thank you for joining in. And if you missed it, you can catch the replays. Have a good evening.
Good night.
Good night.